So thank you all for coming. I know it's not the best thing to be done in the morning. You come here just to attend something in English without subtitle even. So the thing is, we really appreciate what you have done today. Thanks for coming today. I can't imagine this great number of people here. That means a lot for me and for other guys and for Mr. Safwan and Mr. Sami. Who can tell me what is the title of our presentation for today? Anybody knows? What is the title of our presentation?
You can understand, but you can't talk.
Actually, thank you very much. I can understand, but I cannot talk. This is what was chosen and modified, but the original sentence was like this. Teacher. Teacher. What? Teacher. يعني I'd like to tell him, شو بدي لك يعني? I understand everything, but I cannot talk. Right? Don't you think this is the problem of most of students? Yeah. Right?
Everybody.
Yeah, most people suffer from this problem, and at the end of the day, people say, I enrolled in many classes, I did many things, but the result was not that much. You know, I expected to speak English, I was expecting much more better things, but at the end of the day, it's not what it turned out to be. Right? Now, of course, my part of presentation for today is going to be very simple. Some rules you need to know to speak better. Okay? And of course, with the cooperation with Mr. Safwan and Mr. Sami. Where's Sami? Sami? You know, he's flashy, so I'm noticed. So we're going to work on this, hopefully. I'm going to start with the first part of this. My first part is like speaking rules you need to know. Now, before I start my part, I'd like to ask you about your secret of learning English. What is your secret of learning English? Yes, please.
The more you listen, the more you produce.
Wow. You heard that, guys? You already ruined my presentation. Yes, sir.
Listen and repeat, mimic. At the same time with the actor or the actress.
This guy ruined it again. More, please.
Maybe more.
Read more.
Don't use it.
Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? It's a big problem. Now, actually, the first thing I'm going to talk about for today is, what is this? Learn and study phrases. What do you mean by phrases?
Sentences.
Sentences, right? Can you give me some examples about this?
How's life?
How's life?
This is so common.
Yeah? So usually, guys, we as students, before we became teachers, let's say, now we were students, and our great achievement was having a small book that had a lot of vocabulary, and I was so proud to have them. And at the end of the day, when you ask me, how many of these words have you said, I would say, none, but I'm just waiting the time to do this. And when this time comes, nobody knows. Sometimes before the exam, sometimes we finish the exam and I just count on my old bank of vocab. The thing is, if you want to make your speaking English faster, triple or even more, all you have to do is very simple. Try to save sentences or phrases. Instead of saving a word, try to put this word in like a sentence. And usually this sentence is already found. For example, if you want to say, I love something very much, how would you say that in one sentence? Don't say the same one I said. You could say it in a phrase like, I'm into something.
Yeah.
See, I'm into. Not نحن أنتما. Into. So I'm into something. See, when you say I'm into something, that means you love doing this thing very much. And you can say this phrase as well, like, I feel like. Okay? What does it mean, I feel like? Anybody knows? Oh gosh. I think we have a trouble. When you say I feel like,
I know, but I gotta translate it to Arabic.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, it means like جاي على بالي.
Yeah, exactly. Get the idea? So if you want to say in Arabic, جاء على بالي, what do you say in English? Danger on my mind? خطر على بالي. So what do you say in English? I feel, right, I feel like, and of course this should be followed by ing, so I feel like swimming, because it's really hot here. So I feel like going out, I feel like shopping, etc. Get my point?
Yeah.
So the thing is, studying phrases will make your time or reduce the time in which you spend for learning a language. And of course, not to mention that at the end of the day, you're learning something that native people use. And of course, there are many places or many websites, many things, many ways to do in order to get these phrases. Can you give me some? How can I get these phrases? Where from? I go to Haria, give me phrases.
No.
What shall I do? Please.
We can watch TV shows, maybe.
Okay.
A lot of American TV.
Sorry,
A
again?
lot of American TV.
Okay, that makes sense. What else? Movies, songs, you know, trailers, video games, amazing, you know. Not to mention the website, millions of websites that provide this kind of things, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, what do you think the next step is going to be? If you look at this picture, what is this? Yeah. But what that means here? Hello, hola, hi, marhaba. What that means? Yeah. Interaction, or let's say translation.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can say something like translation, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, teacher. Every time I want to speak, what I do is the following. I try to translate the sentence from Arabic into English. You know, like Mr. Sami did now. Danger on my mind. You know. So I mean, do you think it's the best way to do this?
No.
How can we like solve this problem? First of all, let me ask you the question: is how do you think translating a sentence from Arabic into English would affect your English? What would that make for your English?
You will speak
Please.
seriously.
Before we translate, we need to get the deep meaning
Okay.
rather than the surface meaning.
Yeah, but my question is, when you translate, do you think that affects your English positively or negatively?
Well, sometimes I have to translate the meaning. I cannot then translate the sentence literally because it would end up like danger on my mind.
Yeah,
So I
well-
will translate.
Yeah, okay. This is the problem. Please. Yeah, you raise your hand.
Me?
Yeah?
Okay, no,
Marwa!
sometimes when we translate something to Arabic, we can learn the word. Yeah, not bad idea.
Yeah, but when you want to talk,
Yeah, and it's much better than in English.
yeah. Listen, I'll tell you something, guys, you don't know maybe. And it's apparently, it's not clear for you yet. Well, when my rule, the second rule says, don't translate. Because if you want to translate, that will end up, you will end up with what? With being slow. You see? You will be slower speaker. You will not speak as fast as you are supposed to be. Like, wait a minute, teacher. I go when I went to the you need to translate, and by translating sentences, what you're doing actually is killing your English. And now, this is the big problem. When I ask my students to do presentation, what they do actually, teacher, it's here in Arabic, I need to translate this. For God's sake, do you think it's the best thing to be done?
No.
You're killing your time, you're killing your creativity, you're making your brain get used to something that you are already trying to get rid of. I talk Arabic when I talk English. So I don't want to use the Arabic now, with all due respect for Arabic, it's our mother tongue, of course. But I want to speak English, so at the end of the day, I have to use English. Think English, talk English. Don't think Arabic, translate English. This takes time, this takes time. And by this time, you're not going to be fluent. You see? Yes, I remember. How are you? Yeah, I just, how, kaifa, are you? Okay, like that. It's not like that. Of course, I'm giving you like simple examples, but you can like say many different examples like that, right? Please go ahead.
Before 3 months ago.
Yeah, yeah. Before 3 months ago. So what are you talking about, guys? This is not a good way if you want to speak. Please, here we have real teacher. Your teacher, please. Huh?
I wasn't.
Okay. Please.
All my sisters are girls.
Oh, what a discovery! All my sisters are girls. That's great. Okay, guys. Now, I know it's not clear, but you can find here something, a picture, that leads me to my third point. What do you think this picture tells you? Ah.
How smart we are.
Uh-huh.
And we wearing headphones.
Uh-huh. So that's what you got understood or understood. My honey, my wife. My wife's here, she's here, so spiritual push. Thank you. Okay, so what I want to say is God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Right? So supposedly we are supposed to listen more than we talk. Exactly. You know what you do after you get out of the shower? You do that, right? So after going out of the shower, what do? You clean up your ears, sorry. Do the same when you listen, guys. Listening is not enough. Many people just listen, teach. I listen to all American songs. I watch movies. I listen to whatever you want. Okay, I learn nothing. Of course. And the question is, why you learn nothing? Because you are really charmed by the superhero that you see in the movie with muscles. You are not listening. Right? Ooh, look at his muscles. Or that lovely heroine standing there. Oh, my mother-in-law is here as well. I can't say that. I love you.
We love it how Maya's voice is changing, right?
I should be gentle as I was as a lamb, you know. I should be as gentle as a lamb. So, so the thing is, like when you listen, guys, listen attentively. I mean, listen for the sake of listening. No, I gave my students a hard time. You know, who are my students here? I think I asked the wrong question. Okay, my students are suffering here. Why? Because I usually ask them to write the listening.
Yes.
What do you mean by writing?
Can I go there?
I mean, like, take the audio, listen to it, write it the same way it's said. If he says, I'm gonna, write gonna. Don't write, I'm going to. Listen and write everything they say. He said, well, I gotta go. Teacher, show I gotta. I checked all dictionary, but I didn't find gotta. Okay, don't worry. Write it gotta with the R, gotta go. So when I give them the original audio script, they compare what they wrote with the original audio script, and they say, teacher, it's covered something nice. What is it? Gotta, going to, or got to, or I have got to. They said, gotta. But it's not written that way. But I heard it, I swear to God, I heard it that way. Of course you heard it that way. You know, they write the original one, but they say it in a different way. And this is the problem. You listen, guys, and if you notice that God, the first skill that God gave it to us, what is that skill? Listening. When we're the kids, the first thing to do is to listen. After listening, we talk. And after talking, we read. And the last skill is so for God's sake, if you want to learn a language, I can guarantee 100% for you guys, and I'm working on that. I'm gonna make a course only listening. Nothing but listening. I'm gonna teach you English throughout listening. You know, and this way is the most natural way, because you can't find someone who traveled to America. Why are you doing in America? I spent a month there. Of course your English must have wow, increased in a very good way. No. Why? يعني رحنا على الحي العربي. You know, I spent my time there in الحي العربي and it was really nice. Oh, really? So you don't have to travel to America to speak American English, and you don't have to go to England to speak British English. All you have to do is to listen attentively to what you're listening. Pay attention. Take notes while listening. Don't just listen for listen and take notes. Mimic what you're listening to. If somebody says, I gotta go. Stop, pause, write it, then say, I gotta go. Say, it's like music. I don't know what I'm saying, but let's say it as music. I gotta go. Gotta go, gotta go. So, here you go. You say, I gotta go. And the translation, if you're watching a movie with translation, so it's written like, I need to go or I have to go, whatever. You get the meaning here? Listen and listen and listen. And I'm not gonna say more than listen and listen. You see? Listening is the first way to speak. If you want to speak, listen. If you want to write, read. It's very simple, like that. Alright? Now let's move to my next step. I want to speak English or get out of here. What do you think I'm going to talk about here? Yeah, that means let's submerge ourselves in English. What does that mean? Give yourself as much time as you could to speak English. Many people come to the center and they say, Teacher, I come here every day like for 1.5 hours. Do you think that's enough for me to speak English? I would say, no way, Jose. What are you talking about? This is impossible. You know? Do you think 1.5 hours out of 24 hours would be enough for you to talk English? No. If somebody says yes, I'm gonna make him a statue. No way. It's impossible. What we have to do is to put ourselves in an English environment. Talk to English people. Talk to your friends in English. Sit in the cafeteria. Create your own English environment. Then after that, all you have to do is to go home. Fake English. Like I said before, don't translate. Read in English. When you read, read out loud. Let your ears hear your voice when you talk. Get my idea? Yes. Put yourself in an English environment. Start with your mobile. Make it settings. Don't you think it's better? Yeah. Go to your Windows computer. Make it English. Yeah. You know, instead of marhaba, welcome. With all respect of Arabic again, huh? To Arabic, of course. But the thing is, you have to surround yourself with English things. Okay, my friends? Now, actually, we're running out of time. I'm gonna move a little bit quickly. Grammar, don't study grammar. People will kill me now. Teach all what I'm talking about. I would say simply, the thing is very simple. Study grammar if you have exams and you want to pass. Okay? But if you want to talk, forget about it. It's not the thing you're looking for. You can learn a grammar by listening. You can learn a grammar by saying phrases. You know? Listen more, you learn a grammar. But to study grammar subject, verb, object, I center. Don't do that. And by the way, grammar and studying grammar will make you slow as well. Because when you want to say a sentence, all you have to do is what? Yeah. امبارح yesterday. I go la good. I went. Yesterday I went. You know, this will make you slower again. You see? This will make you slower. And this is not what you want if you want to speak English. Now, I'm about to finish now, but I want to say something quickly, guys. I started recently something called Remedial class, or Remedial program in New Horizons. And this program is really aimed for students who have some weaknesses in some certain areas in their English. Like, this program is designed to meet your needs. Like, for example, I talk. While you are talking, guys, in the class, I take notes about your mistakes, either vocab or grammar. And then, at the end of the class, I give you the feedback, what you should say and what you shouldn't say. In this way, you are working on vocab and the grammar, but in an indirect way, you know? We put it in examples, sentences, etc., and you practice it. So we make sure that you are really speaking correctly. And this is what I started doing recently, and I prepared the group of students later to go to something else that Mr. Sami is doing in Eurazes, which is conversation classes. And no one is better than him to talk about his program. That's all for my side. Thank you very much. I'm not Santa Claus, but at the end, guys, here we have, I would like you all to go, before you go, guys, to have this paper, or this, like, 3 or 4 papers. It has summary for our presentation, like Mr. Rami and Mr. Sami. Okay? So before you go, make sure to take one. It has the summary of our presentations. I'm going to keep them here.